everyone, welcome back to GHS Algebra videos. Today we're talking about polynomials. What's a polynomial? It's an expression consisting of many terms. For the standard form, we've got to write it in alphabetical order with the highest exponents coming first. What do I mean by that? Well, alphabetical order, A, B, C, X, Y, Z. Highest exponents first, well if you look down here, you'll see that I've got 3, 2, invisible 1, and all the way down to where I don't have any. So constants come at the very end. Now the highest exponent is called the degree. So we're going to look and see that right over here, our highest exponent is 3. So our degree is 3. Now when you have two variables together, you've got to add their exponents to find what which part of your problem is the degree. So for example, I have 4 and 2, this is 6. 3 and an invisible 1 gives me 4. 5 and 4 gives me 9. So the largest degree, the largest number, the degree of my problem is 9. Now this part is going to take a little memorization. If you have no variables, you are automatically a constant. You have 0 degrees. But if you've got one variable, you've got 1 degree, it is linear. We're going to see more about this in our problems, so let's go ahead and look at those. But the other thing you need to look at is number of terms. We've got monomials, binomials, trinomials, and polynomials. We're going to have to identify those things too. So for example, number 1, 6. It's a constant. It has 0 variables in it. It has a degree of 0. It's a constant. It's also only one number, so it is a monomial. Well, negative 2x over here is also one term, so it is a monomial as well. However, it's got a variable on it with a value of 1, and that is the highest number in this entire problem, so it is linear. When I look at problems like 3 and 4, though, I've got to start paying attention a little bit more to my variables. So on number 3, I can see that I've only got a variable in one of these terms. So my x has a value of 1, so it is linear. That is because the highest degree is 1 in this entire problem. However, there are 2 terms, so it is now a binomial. I come over to 4, and I've got to actually pay attention to my variables now because I actually have 2 this time. So I have x squared and x1. X squared is higher. So since x squared is higher, I now have a quadratic. But I've got 3 terms, so that makes it a trinomial. Looking at 5, we've got, oh my, we've got x to the 3rd. We have our first cubic. And it's got 2 terms, so it is a binomial. 6 is going to be a lot bigger because I have to pay attention. Is it in the standard form? Is it in correct order? I'm going to double check. Well, it is in standard form, so I can trust this first number is the highest one. So it is a quartic. Now there are 1, 2, 3, 4 terms. Since there are 4 terms, it is now a polynomial. So we're going to look at how to put things into standard order now. I'm looking at a few example problems. So, for example, I've got number 7 right here. Now, I've got x1 right here, and I've got x2 over here. I want to put them in the correct order. I need the highest exponent first, followed by the next lowest, and then my constant at the very end. Boom, standard form. All right, so looking at 8, I need to find the highest one. So I've got x squared, x1, oh, x to the third power, x cubed. So I've got 7x cubed plus x squared minus x plus 64. Make sure to take your sign with your term. This is negative x. That negative stays with that x. We've got something, oh, number 9. It almost looks like it's in standard form already, but wait. This negative x is not where it's supposed to be. So even if it looks like it's right at first, you need to go ahead and look at the entire problem and make sure. Speaking of, things not in order, negative signs, I've got negative x to the third power. That has to go first, and that negative has to go with it. So, remember, if there's nothing in front of it, like in the 24th case, it's automatically positive. Wow, these are a lot bigger, and check it out. We actually have to pay attention to all the different numbers on all the different variables, all the different exponents, and all the different variables. So, for example, I have a to the first power, b to the first power. So this is a total of 2. That's not a very high degree compared to a to the third power, but let me check other ones. I've got a squared, b squared. This has a degree of 4. These are add up to 4. And then I've got b to the third power. So, first thing we've got to look at, we have to look at the highest number on the first letter. So, for example, a to the third is going to come first, but 5a squared, b squared is going to come next in front of 2ab, and at the very end is 2b cubed. So we do this because we're going from a to ab to b. Now the degree of this problem would be this one right here because it is 4. But when it comes to putting it in order, we need to do alphabetical and then look at our exponents. Excellent. Now we're going to keep going onto the back. So flip it over. We're looking at how to combine things. So for example, I've got 11 right here. Well, I've got x squared, and 3x squared. So I can go ahead and combine those. I could even line this up, but I don't want to just in case it doesn't always work out. So, for example, I've got 4x squared. Next, I've got negative 4x and negative 3x, negative 7x. And now I've got 3 minus 5, so minus 2. Here we go. Looking at 15. So, again, I am going to combine like terms. I'm going to combine my x squares. So I've got 7x squared, and then I've got, there's no x over here. So I'm going to bring that down, minus x. And then I've got my constants to add together. So I have minus 2. And we go back to 12 for subtraction. All right, guys, so here's a very handy way to do this. We like keeping it in our parentheses. So what we're going to do is we're going to distribute this negative out to everything. But I'm going to show you how to keep it in the parenthesis form to see it. So now I've got 8x squared minus 12x plus 4. I've distributed my negative out, so now I can put a plus sign in here. So I now have negative 3x squared minus 5x plus 1. Negative times a negative gives me a positive, so plus 1. Now I can go back to looking at what are my like terms. I've got an 8x squared and a negative 3x squared. Okay, cool. 5x squared. Next I can look at, I've got negative 12x, negative 12x, and negative 5x. Same signs, add and keep. Negative 17x. And last but not least, I've got my constants, 4 and 1. They add up to be 5. Excellent. 13 is another example with subtraction, but everything's not in order, so if you want to, I would suggest putting it in order just to make your life easier. So, for example, I'm going to put 7x squared plus 2x minus 3, parentheses. I'm going to go ahead and leave this as it is for now. I'm going to put negative 9x squared, negative 2x, plus 3. Now I'm going to distribute my negative. So my next line is going to look like 7x squared plus 2x minus 3 plus 9x plus 2x minus 3. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and look at my like terms. I've got 7x squared and oops, I forgot about my square right here. 7x squared and 9x squared. So I have 16x squared. Well, now I got to look at some more things like 2x and 2x. So I've got 4x right here. And last but not least, I've got negative 3 and negative 3. So that would be negative 6. We are going to do the next problem. All right, so here we go. It's in order, but there's a bunch of things going on. Oh, it's almost in order. Let's get it in order first. So I've got 5x to the third plus 2x squared minus x plus 4. Next, I've got plus 3x squared minus, hold on, minus 4x plus 1. Now I can look and see my like terms a lot easier. 5x to the third, this doesn't have an x to the third, so 5x to the third just comes on down. 5x to the third, you are a winner, come on down. 2x squared plus 3x squared gives me 5x squared. And I've got negative x, and negative 4x. So same signs, add and keep, negative 5x. Last but not least, I've got 4 and 1. So that's plus 5. Excellent. Now let's look at, this one is big. And it's got a whole bunch of different letters in it. So let's make sure we're in standard form. Let's see, I've got x, y, z, x, y, z, x, and y. Okay, now only one of them needs to distribute, this one right here. But I'm going to go ahead and bring everything else down to make my life easier. So 2x squared plus 3y squared minus z squared. Now bring this down to be plus. I've distributed my negative inside. It's minus x, well, my bad. Minus x squared plus y squared plus z squared plus 4x squared minus 3y squared. Just bring down everything else, guys. Awesome. So I'm going to look at my like terms. I want to see how many x squared I have. I have 1x squared right here. Here's another one. And here's another one. So 2x squared minus x squared plus 4x squared. That's going to give me, let's see, 5x squared. Next, I'm looking at y squared. I've got 3y squared and a y squared here minus 3y squared. Okay, well, 3y squared plus y squared minus 3y squared. Well, these two cancel out. So I'm just left with plus y squared. So I'm also looking at z squared. I've got minus z squared and plus z squared. Well, minus z squared and plus z squared, those cancel out. is my answer. Alrighty, let's do one more just like it. No, you know what? We need to go through the word problems. So we're going to do 19. Find the sum of this polynomial and this polynomial. Well, now we've actually learned that this is a trinomial and this is a binomial. So sum means add. So we're going to add these two together. I've got 2x squared minus 6x minus 2 plus x squared plus 4x. I'm going to add these two together just like I have. I've got 2x squared plus x squared, so I have 3x squared. Next, I'm looking at minus 6x and plus 4x, so I've got minus 2x. And last but not least, I have minus 2, but nothing else to combine it with, so it just drops down. So this is what I get. Our last problem of this video is subtract this trinomial from this trinomial. Now, when they say from, that means that this one comes first. So we have 3a squared minus 2ab plus 3b squared minus negative a squared minus 5ab plus 3b squared. Excellent. Now I need to distribute that negative first and foremost. So distribute it to everything. So my next line is going to look like 3a squared minus 2ab plus 3b squared. Gotta just go ahead and bring it down, guys. Plus, negative times a negative is a positive, so I got a squared plus 5ab minus 3b squared. Gotta keep my parentheses. So now I'm looking at 3a squared and a squared give me 4a squared. I'm looking at the fact that I've got negative 2ab plus 5ab is 3ab. I have to pay attention to 3b squared minus 3b squared. Well, that means no 3b squared. There's no more b squared. They cancel out. So it's just going to be 4a squared plus 3ab. Excellent. I hope this video helped you. Have a great day.